Hi, everyone. Welcome to another interview from our interview series. Today, I will be interacting with Anita, who is a CBAP certified business analyst, and will understand her journey of becoming CBAP certified. My name is Nitin, and I will be your host on behalf of Techcanvass for this interview. Hi, Anita. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you doing?
I'm doing great, Anita. Thank you. Thank you for giving this opportunity to us to interact with you. So, before we begin with the interview, if you can tell us a brief about yourself, about your professional life, what you were doing before becoming a BA.
Okay. I'm basically a chartered accountant by profession. So my professional certifications are like I'm a chartered accountant from India and I've got CA qualifications from UK. So that was my professional career, but I did have a very traditional experience of a chartered accountant, as to say, like writing up books of account or in taxation, because I
Mhm.
worked in Middle East where tax actually was introduced last 2 years ago only. So I have worked in a government organization and where my main experience is in procurement and budgeting.
Okay.
So that is how I started my professional journey. But I relocated to India recently, and that's when I started getting a lot of offers for business analysis profession.
Okay.
And that is, I think, from where I took a different route.
Okay. So how did you decide? How did you decide that you'll be going for CBAP certification?
Actually, I was continuing with my profession and like my experience is more in financial analysis and cost analysis. And when I started
Mhm.
getting a job offers of business analysis after I relocated to India, I just came to know what it is and how it is and all. So I said okay, and it was right at the time of Corona and also movements were restricted. And I said just to upskill, let us see. So I joined for a PG certification in business analysis and product management from MNIT Jaipur. So
Okay.
I was while I was doing business analysis subject there, one of my mentors
Mhm.
guided me and said that what is the difference? You're doing business analysis here, and there is an international certification that is the golden of the highest certification you should get for business analysis. This is good, yes, you can learn your skills and all, but why don't you try for that? And that is how I got introduced to this.
Okay.
And because of my business analysis PG certification, I got that 35 hours of
Yeah.
PDU which you need. And from there, my mentor is the one who's actually guided and told me that I should be doing CBAP. So that's how I got introduced this to CBAP as a profession, actually.
Okay. And when did you go write this exam?
I passed the exam on 14th November 2022.
Okay. Okay. So I believe this must be one of your pre-New Year gift, which
Yeah, it came little. I wouldn't say it came little early. Actually, I was supposed to give the exam in September, but my whole family and I got corona, so it was like delayed.
oh, okay. Okay.
Omicron wave. That is what hit us.
How's everyone keeping now? How's everyone?
It was fine. Whole October month was dedicated to corona, and exam was supposed to be end of September. So October went by like that, and November I said no. What come may now I take the exam.
Okay, okay. How was your preparation? I mean, because CBAP is not an easy certificate and it requires a lot of.
Preparation because I had actually enrolled for that PG certification course, so I had to complete that. So I had set aside from July, August, September, 3 months to while I was doing the business analysis course. Since my mentor had guided me, I said, "Let me see if my application is being approved." She said, "No, no, work experience matters a lot. So you should try for CBAP." So I gave the application and it was instant approval actually. So that part was there. So now I didn't have any excuse not to do it. And then once the application is approved, you're left with a 1 year span. So I
Yeah.
finished my business analysis PG certification and all by end of June. All the assignments and projects and all. So I was, fresh from that learning, but it was over. So I said July, August, September. Then I was all
Okay.
ready to take my exam by end of September, and that's the time this corona struck. So it was
Hmm.
like an extended period during October and November.
Okay.
I decided to.
Was there was there any challenge which you want to discuss? Anything where you felt that I won't be able to do this? Let me
Yeah,
just stop it.
actually, Corona was a bit of setback. Then, once you take a break to start again, that part was bad. But Techcanvass was
Mhm.
kind enough to give me extension, because when I said I need some more time, I had actually subscribed to the question bank.
Okay.
So one question bank really helped me. Like I told, it is like a very extensively it covers BABOK, So that
Mhm.
is a good part you get there. But one heart attack you get is like subject by subject when you're doing it, and when you do the question bank, you do perform very well, like 90-95% marks, and
Mhm.
then you start doing the mock exam, and suddenly it comes to 65 to 75, when all the subjects are thrown at you. So that time I felt, no, I have actually studied and I have completed topic wise, and I was doing so well in individual knowledge areas. Why, maybe I'm not up to the mark, kind of, so there
Okay.
I got this lack of confidence. Then I said, no, like it is an exam, it is something which you have to learn, and if you have studied, why can't you get it right, Then
Hmm.
I changed my angle that way. And then when I was doing those mock exam, I said, no, I need to focus on what is wrong and why it is wrong. Like, why did that 90-95 go down to 65, 75
Yeah.
to 80? And they're saying that you should get it like 80-85. So
Yeah.
I changed my focus there, and in fact, stress more on the answers which went wrong,
Hmm.
and where my understanding is going wrong, because basically if something you study and you learn it, if you learn it for the
Mhm.
sake of knowing it, then you should not go wrong.
Yeah.
So I had a change of approach there, and
Hmm.
that is how, that lack of confidence, because then you kept on practicing it again and again also, and then why those errors were occurring.
Yeah. Yeah. So
So
retrospection
that
was
part.
really, yeah.
That helped me. And like then I realized like the passing must be this gap, like everybody might score. Like once you study, you learn it, So 70,
Mhm.
75, you might get it. But to get that 10%, that is where you need to focus. Because
Correct.
if you do that, then you will pass. So where I'm going wrong,
Yeah.
So that kind of thing I like that. I mean,
Okay.
I'm very critical with myself, So I said, no, you're not good enough. You're not getting something right. Something is wrong. What is wrong, So try to
Okay.
uncover that part, and it is like a discovery. And my mom, she'll come with simple logic, like, what is this, what is an exam that if you learn, you can't learn, or if you study, you can't learn, or you can't pass, She's got that simple logic. So it's like either you've
True.
not studied well or you have not understood it well,
Yeah.
So then I get down to this kind of basics, and then I see why it's going wrong.
Okay. So you kept pushing yourself throughout this journey of
I mean,
becoming
I think it
CBAP
was a little
certified.
bit of critical analysis of like I was not upset that it is going wrong. Like, why is that 20% going wrong?
Mm.
So how
Yeah.
to get over that 20%? That I focus like that.
Yeah. That's actually one of the best ways of preparing for any exam, not just CBAP, any exam. So just explain your exam day. How was your exam day? Were you nervous about it? What was your approach towards the exam?
Actually, I like July, August, September was very focused study for me. Then October like took all the strength and energy out because of the corona thing. So November I was regaining my strength. And
Yeah.
then that November 10 days, like I was only doing questions and question banks, So I actually focused on my health because that physically pulled me down, and on my eyes because all the study goes on through this computer monitor,
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
said like last 1 day or 2 days before the exam, like I will not do question bank, because I actually not question bank or
Mhm.
anything, no more focusing on the monitor, because that exam needs 4 hours of sitting there. So I
Yeah.
put stress on that, and I don't believe in last minute cramming. I say, like, studying is for learning. If you learn something and understand it, there is no question of forgetting it. So I had that kind of a thing, mainly because I had to keep myself, my health was had to be okay for, I said my head has to function and my eyes have to be okay for that focus 3.5 hours, that I think it was probably because of the corona. Maybe I would not have given so much stress to it had it not struck me in October,
Okay. 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 Any
because I
any
was finding it little difficult for physically.
All right, but you managed to do it. I mean, you are certified now.
Yeah.
You are CBAP certified. So, any more tips which you want to share with our viewers?
Yeah, see, I think whoever is studying, it's an exam. I don't think anybody will go for it without studying. So I think if you
Mm,
look at it like, why do you study and why do you, I mean, you're studying, why don't you pass?
yeah.
If you study, you should
Agree.
pass. So when I look at it like that, what really helped me is that do wide range of question bank, questions, because you keep doing those kind of questions. So when you go for the exam, the questions don't appear foreign to you, the
Mm,
style and the type of questions that are going to be thrown at you will be familiar. I mean, you can't have exactly
yeah.
the same questions, but at least how and what kind of questions, when you do such a lot of questions, as like 1,200 questions from Techcanvass and all, it will expose you. You won't sit there like not knowing, like in a foreign territory, not knowing what to do. So I think that helped
Mm,
me. Then it's like, that 3.5 hours of exam, when you study so much and do so much questions, there are certain things which you really know well. So just tackle those without, where you don't have to think twice. Tackle those, meaning don't waste time. So you
mm,
finish those questions where you're really sure of, and you have an option of flagging the questions you're not sure of or anything, but never mind, don't waste time on it. So, like, while I was being guided from Tech Canvas, I had asked Mr. Satish.
mhm,
He used to tell, there are people who finish the exam, I mean, who complete the question in 2 hours. There are people who take 3.5 hours. So I said I should try and finish it in 2.5 hours. And I know there are things which I won't be knowing or I'm not confident about or something. Never mind. That 1 hour, I have to keep it focused to come back and
mm,
tackle it.
yeah.
So I use that approach, and what happens next is, like, you don't know the answers, right? So when you don't know the answers, it's like either one option, you think one of them is the answer. So
Yeah.
why, which one? You go through it and you read the question again. There will be some keywords, which will
Mm,
give you a clue, from
right.
the either like two from the two. If you read it again, and if you feel that you've tackled the other questions, there is time, I'm sure if you read it carefully, it will again give you a pointer or a hint, how to do that. If still things don't work, because you find from all the four answers you're blank, you don't know anything, so then it is like
Mm,
eliminate, what is wrong, which cannot be
yeah.
the answer, then you try that elimination, little bit cunningness and shrewd way of tackling, then this
Yeah.
is not now about studying, this is just about getting it right, now. So what is not right or what cannot be right, then you can limit it and bring it down to a correct option. And still, if there is something wrong and you feel it doesn't make sense, I just go back to the question again. There will be a keyword which you are missing or some information
Yeah.
which you have not given weightage, because
Correct.
definitely the situation is in front of you and you have to know which is best here. So I use this
Mm,
kind of an thing, and like I said, that time, finish whatever you know, and
mhm,
give yourself that, like, I had kept that 1 hour time and I went back to it. Like, for in my case, it was not difficult, but they give all kind of questions. Okay, there is straight direct questions, there is case study, there is scenario, there are financial questions, and for me there was financial questions and costing based questions. It is not tough,
mhm,
it is easy, but it is time taking.
yeah.
you know like, what happens is, like, they will tell you, like, there are 10 options, and each option they will give you a costing, it is which option would be best, and each option would have 10 features. So which
Mm,
features, if you consider, it will come within the budget. So, like, each
right.
option 10 features, costing for each feature, it just takes time. It is basic, adding, minus, whatever it is. But, like, when you do it under that pressure kind of a thing, it is difficult because your time is going. You cannot finish that in 1 minute 45 seconds. So when you have
Yeah.
done it in that 2 hours time, and then you leverage, then you can go to it, because it is not really tough. You just feel like, oh my God, it's like more than 1 minute or 2 minutes, and I'm not being able to finish it. So when you have kept that time, given yourself that time, I think you can come back and solve, because it was not, there were some difficult questions, difficult. I said, like, let us try to rule out,
Hmm.
rule out, eliminate, or go back to the question. You will find some other keyword. 90% of the time it works. Maybe for 5% it was like too much of analysis paralysis. You start, marking the right ones also wrong. So when you reach that stage, you stop it, because towards the end. But I think to keep little bit of time, like don't try to finish the exam in 3.5 hours. Try to do it in 2.5 or 3 hours. Then
Yeah.
you use that half an hour, for those things where you are in doubt, or and don't let it weigh down on you, because you start doing it. The first 40 questions are not within the reach, or not within the reach in the given timing or the planned timing. It is like a psychological pull down. So,
Hmm.
you have to keep, like I kept on telling, no, like you've done it, you can do it. If not this, go to the next one. Don't waste time. So at least that time factor is there. I'm going to come back. If you are,
Yeah.
giving yourself that thing, and then I think this kind of things, because everybody studies. I will not say somebody, this exam you really got to pay also for all the things. So when you pay so much, you study, and why? And it is sad when you study and then you don't pass. So I think these kind of tricks. I mean, the way you tackle this, I think it helped me.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for sharing those tips with us, Anita. And I really loved your tips. The three tips which you shared: how to rule out the answers, how to select the best one possible. So I love those tips. And
Yeah, and I
thank you
said
for
looking for the
sharing.
keywords.
Looking for the keywords. Thank you. Thank you for the
Yes.
addition of that as well. And thank you for sharing this entire journey with us. It was great interacting with you, and all the best for your career. Thank you so much again. Take care.
Thank you so much, and I'm sorry about the tech problems in the beginning.
That's
Thank you.
absolutely
Thank you
fine.
to
That's
Monica
absolutely.
also. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you all. Bye.